lounging, son.
All right, welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name is Ryan, and today I'm going through another brand new DC Black Label Batman book, and yet again another awesome project. This time it's Batman City of Madness, Book 1 by Christian Ward, who is just such a phenomenal artist. I first discovered his stuff on Odyssey, the book he did with Matt Fraction, and just immediately just enamored with his style. His coloring too is just, it's breathtaking. It's the full package, and I don't know if this is the first time he's written a book. I'm going to go ahead and say possibly. Comes out swinging, and it's just absolutely the story, the art, everything. And, we open up, and it's got this kid, and there's stuff happening on the news, and he's talking about going to Gotham, like, on his own. And even the guy giving him the ticket is like, you sure about that? Kind of. Sees a bat flying by. He's like, I've never seen one. He's like, well, you'll see plenty in Gotham. Which is, kind of funny, like, that's how we open up. But then we get this amazing, amazing double-page spread. The silhouette of Batman running across this rooftop where you see, like, the glow of the sign behind him. And you see the cityscape with the bats just flying. You see some, like, dilapidated buildings over here, but and then you see like the Wayne Tower right there. He's going to take down Two-Face is who he's going to be fighting. But throughout this we have Alfred narrating, which I think is a very interesting choice, and it's definitely a side of Alfred we don't necessarily see very often, talking about, he's been writing down his thoughts, and he used to let himself believe that it was just out of boredom, right? And just something to do to pass the time. He even tells, Bruce that, like, don't worry, I'll burn these. You'll never read them. No one will. He would feel guilty about falling asleep, before he came home, so he'd drink coffee. And then this line right here, that was before I realized that it wasn't a bat that inspired Batman, but it was the trauma that made a weapon out of you. Now nothing brings me comfort. We all have our torment, I suppose, and mine is pulling me further and further down. Just seeing like a side of Alfred like that we rarely see, especially now in the ongoing, like, he's not alive and he's been dead for a couple years now. So I kind of miss the character. I think he is such a great supporting cast and really one of the major characters in Batman mythos. So I love that Christian Ward is having him be such a main focal point here and really showcasing like what Alfred does while he's waiting. And then we get to the crime, and I absolutely love the way Ward does this, because like you're seeing like this mark over the coin that's what you can only assume is like what Two-Face is seeing in his mind, and the way he draws like this almost like scratchy look over the actual face. I've never seen this technique done with Two-Face, and I think it is so effective. The way you have the divide of the room too, like he's got like his henchmen that are in suits over on this side. You got like these like punker type henchmen on the side, and then we get this amazing thing of Batman just like busting through and just talking about how he found Two-Face and how easy it was to find him, and just laying it out. The detective work too is all here. That's always, to me, at the heart of a good Batman story, is really showcasing that he is the world's greatest detective, and how he finds his adversaries is just as important as, like, having a cool story of him fighting the villains, taking them all out systematically, and then even mentioning how, like, there was a time when Harvey's goons would be dressed as Halloween costume versions of him. Now they're as tortured as he is. And so, like, they can't even, like, stick together. And then he stopped when Harvey has now taken the reins and tries to talk him down, saying he needs his help. The design of him is something that... It's such an abstract look at the way Two-Face is presented that I think it's just really... adds to this, like, cosmic horror vibe that Christian Ward is going for. Get transported to this like corporate room, seeing them, they're going down the elevator, and this is where we learn what is really going to be at the heart of this, and it's the Court of Owls. Haven't really seen the Court of Owls utilized too much recently. I appreciate that. I definitely think it's a great concept that Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo came up with during the Batman New 52 era, but you don't want to like overuse a villain. You don't want to overuse a concept because then it just waters it down. We're seeing them go underneath. Then we notice there's a betrayal, like within the Court of Owls, this like weird cave, like that's a doorway to another realm. Kind of reminds me of, Lock and Key, which I just recently reread. Behind the Black Door, like that kind of felt reminiscent. I'm not sure that that's what it's going for, but there's this creature that they've been keeping there. You see the divide between them, and one of them just wants the power behind it. One of them's like, no, we can't, and thinking that he could take him out. No, the dude that betrayed the traitor gets stabbed by the Talon. Where there's a Lord of the Court of Owls, his Talon is never far behind. And as they're about to blow this doorway up to kind of seal it, we see a battering hit. It's not what you think. It's some like dark version of Bat. Some like, I don't even know. Like, is this from the multiverse? What is it? The Talon tries to take him out. His hand gets cut off. And this dark version of Batman makes his escape. And then we come back to this little kid who we'll see why he kind of serves some sort of like a purpose to the story. He's came to Gotham because his dad was killed, and he's looking for the cop who basically did it. The flashback, I like this like technique of like making it look like with this green, no real line, a little bit of the line definition is a little bit thinner. You just see how heartbreaking it is because he's talking to his dad, and this cop is like, don't move, and then you hear him yell for his dad and hear the bang bang, and then over here you see hero cop kills drug dealer, which is basically insinuating that he killed this kid's dad thinking he was a drug dealer, and now you see he's come upon him, he sees him, and the cop is like, hey, that kid's checking me out, let's have a word with him. And then another really cool technique, I love how each artist always interprets their own Batmobile. I'm really digging this version. I love the way there's this silhouette of Amadeus Arkham as Batman's driving to Arkham Asylum. I thought that was cool. And then you get this like red trail, and even mentioning that years ago he was forced to spend a night in it. In my worst moments, I wonder if perhaps I never left. Just very psychological thriller that just like, it kind of to me has like maybe a little inspiration from Arkham Asylum by Grant Morrison and Dave McKean. I'm not sure. I mean, this definitely had those vibes to me as he's walking down the hallway. Just seeing like the way that these things are coming off the wall. Just like, again, very abstract. I love the design of Mad Hatter. Super creepy. And Batman comes up to this, Dr. Adams. Even mentioning like, all right, the Harveys are expecting you. And then we cut to the Batcave. Barbara Gordon over here has a little interaction with Alfred, which is like, I love this. You don't often see them interact too much, but I at least not in the current stuff. But I like this. She even talks about why do men do that? God forbid you talk about how you're actually feeling. Maybe there never would have been a Batman if he had talked about his feelings. Who could say, Miss Gordon? Who could say? Very heavy-handed statement too. And then Dr. Adams telling Batman that the Harveys are more divided than ever. Maybe there's a third personality. We're going to learn that, I won't give too much away, but you learn that it's not necessarily a personality, but Harvey is hearing it. And I love the contrast of like when Harvey's personality is taking over as opposed to Two-Face. I've always loved that. Ignore him, Batman. I like it here. It suits my temperament. Rot feeds rot. So he says, it's a signal that I'm hearing. And what's it saying, Harvey? And it says, it's saying something's come to Gotham, something truly evil. Just so many great, like, full-page splashes. We get I think they're called the Terrible Trio. They don't refer to them as that. But they're also, it's interesting that these characters are also in the current Batman and Robin series by Joshua Williamson and Simone DeMeo. So we get them, they come upon the kid and pulls a gun on him. And I love this, like, don't laugh at me, I'm going to kill him. They'll call him a boy. He's like, I'm not a boy. I'm vengeance. And right as he's about to get attacked, something grabs one of the guys and takes them all out. And this reminded me so much of like a Bill Sienkiewicz composition. And then you hear this, worry not. And it's this creepy Cthulhu-looking Batman. And then we go here again. Talking about how they've guarded the door for 100 years. We are Gotham. We are Gotham. You hear this like chanting going on. and you realize that you're within the Court of Owls, and they're resurrecting their Talon, and they have no choice but to recruit Batman to help them. The Batman will join the Court of Owls, is what they say. I love this panel where Alfred looks upon Bruce's parents and says, I should have been stronger, I should have protected him, but God forgive me, I wanted vengeance too. Then we flash back to Harvey and this like third personality that he's hearing, and telling him, you have to get a message to Batman, you have to tell him. Batman below has the boy, and he means to make a Robin out of him. So that's the whole impetus behind this kid being a part of it. I probably should have gave a spoiler warning at the beginning. I will, when I post it, I will definitely mention that there's spoilers. But this is 2 for 2 with these. I mean, I often say, like, you know, there's so much Batman out there. Do we really need more? But then they deliver something like this, where you're getting like this singular vision from a cartoonist, where we had the Raphael Grandpa with Gargoyle of Gotham. To me, that was a 10 out of 10. Then you deliver this just a month later. It's City of Madness. And again, to me, 10 out of 10. It's just something completely different, something fresh. You're getting a very unique art style. And I can't recommend this enough. Go pick up the book. Hit up your local comic shop. While you're at it, like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid drops. And on that note, I'm out.